This is almost like an emotional manipulation. You can use this chord progression to make anyone feel touched by this emotional narrative. Can you tell me a random product, Tim?
Yeah, soap.
Soap. Soap. It's not just a luxury. It's an experience. It removes dirt. It removes impurity. It makes you a better person. So clean.
Be clean. Brothers and sisters, be clean.
Again, like it adds a complete dimension of an emotional narrative. And that's not because of necessarily bass movement. That's because of the emotional character of each chord. Most musicians can hear melodies really well, but harmony is a completely new game.
By the end of this video, you're going to be hearing chords like a professional musician. Let's start with the two most common chord progressions in music.
1-5-6-4, 6-4-1-5.
You've probably seen a bunch of videos with 1,000 songs that use the same 4 chords.
Hello from the other side. La, 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 la. Anyways, the list never ends, okay? Most of your training focuses on melody, but harmony is really what tells the story in a piece of music. We wanted to present you like simple exercises so that you can start recognizing chords, identifying chords. It's one of the most important things you can do in music.
It's going to help you compose, arrange, and really just hear the character of the music around you. You ever seen this game?
No. What is that?
You don't know about this game? This is Simon, okay?
I don't think we have those in Brazil.
You don't have Simon in Brazil?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe.
So here's how it's played. You hit a button, and then it starts you. Right? So it adds a note every single time.
Okay.
And we're going to play a game of musical Simon, all right? But we're
right.
only going to use 4 notes, the 1, 4, 5, and 6. So if we're in C major, C, F, G, and A. Sound good?
All right.
I'm going to play a 4-note pattern on the trombone, and then you play it back to me on the piano. Then I'm going to play an 8-note pattern, you play that back to me, and we're going to see how far we can take it. We'll start with this one. Nope.
Damn, this Simon thing is hard.
If you can do something like play a musical game of Simon, you're already starting to hear harmony.
So here's what's happening and what most people miss. Instead of memorizing just notes, you're memorizing bass movements. So here's the first exercise I would encourage you to do. Using those 2 chord progressions with 4 chords, memorize singing the melody that the bass creates. For example, do, sol, la, fa. You can use da, 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 basically representing the following chords. Right? The other one is the 6-4-1-5. Da, 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 da. So if you become really proficient at singing da 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 or da 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 while hearing the chords, that's why it's good to play as well on the piano as you sing that. You'll be surprised how many more songs you're going to start recognizing.
And this is the secret to how professional musicians hear music. We hear the foundation that's under all of those crazy complicated chords that you hear all the time.
When I was a little kid, I started to associate a little character with each scale degree. For example, my 1 chord, my root, felt like the hero. My 6th chord was the enemy, the villain. The 4th chord was like the girlfriend or the loving character that always brought some hope and joy. And the 5th chord was kind of the best friend of the hero, always engaging in movement and adventures. Here's what I mean by that. You start minor. It's really sad. It's really dramatic. You know, that's the E. Then we have the 4 chord that's gonna bring you hope. There's some hope in the world. Then you arrive home. That feels so good. That's the 1 chord. And then you go to the 5 chord, taking you on an adventure. And then you get back again to darkness. And then I offer you some hope. Then I offer you some, I don't know, joy. You're back home. And then your best friend comes. So that's the 6-4-1-5 chord progression.
Basically, everything we talk to you all about is about bringing feeling and emotion and personality to something that's always been represented by notes on a page. So we've talked about these 4 chord progressions. We've listened for the bass, and we've thought about the character of each of the chords. And now it's time to put it together.
Here's one exercise you can do right now. Try to play all those chords from these 2 progressions we've been talking about, but try to invert them to have the least amount of movement possible or of jumping possible. Meaning you try to find common notes between the chords. For example, to my F, to my C, to my G. Okay? And then try to sing that. La, do, mi, la, do, fa, sol, do, mi, sol, si, re. You know, that's one way. But then you can try starting on a different inversion. You kind of start to memorize the design of these chords. Your ears start to crave for that sound. So if you go through all possible inversions and try to sing them out loud, you're actually doing incredible harmonic ear training work. So here are a few great examples for you to try to do it right now. You can listen to this, pause the video, listen again, rewind, and then try to come up with the answer. I'm gonna throw this on you, Tim, so you can try yourself. California Queen Band. Na, 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 na. Exactly.
It's 1, 5, 6, 4.
Correct.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's another one. This
So it's A minor, F, C, G.
Good. I have this band called Avicii. Do you know this?
No, but it's probably better that I don't. So it's A, F, C, G.
That's it. But again, one thing you can do, just go on Spotify, Apple Music, or YouTube and just go after like 4 chord songs. You know, try not to see what the songs are, or not to see the harmony if it's written, and try to test your ears. Memorize all of them. Just sing together those bass lines. Identify if the first chord is major or minor. Sing that bass line and see if it matches. Sometimes you may sing in the wrong bass line and it kind of works. It shouldn't kind of work. It should work perfectly. When you have the right one, it's perfect.
And this is exactly how professional musicians hear harmony.
So this is step number 1, okay? If you're already comfortable at identifying those 2 chord progressions, feel free to skip to our next video. That's where we're gonna start talking about more complex and longer chord progressions, incorporating different types of chords as well, and then secondary dominants, modal interchanges, and a bunch of other things that once you kind of get it and learn a few different pieces that use those same chords, it becomes just part of your vocabulary instead of individual chords and theoretical concepts that you organize.
If you'd like an ebook with everything we talked about today, there's a link in the description.
So if this changed the way you listen to music, this is what we do. Subscribe.